All right, so made it to Final Nine, secured Final Nine, so that's pretty exciting. Got put. Unfortunately, I lost the Emperor Challenge. Felt very confident going in and was even remotely close to making it, so that was cool. But I got put on a Ludus with good ally Devin and Eddie. Eddie, I haven't really talked to that often during the game, but we got to talking after we found out that we won. So me, Devin, and Eddie are safe. And so now it comes down to who were we voting out, and that seems to be the big thing right now is figuring out who we want to vote out, who stays, who goes, because there's obviously there's a trio, Eddie, Jess, and Emily. They're clearly working together, and then you have Austin and JG. I'm not in the middle of that, but little do people know that me, Devin, and Ben kind of formed a final three together recently. We got put on a Ludus. I've been cool with Devin. I've been cool with Ben, and we decided, you know what? Everybody has groups. We don't really have one. Nobody really would expect us to work together. So we're kind of together now. So that's pretty cool, and I really like working with them. So now it comes down to who are we voting out. The initial thought, Eddie contacted me and was like, hey, let's get out Austin and JG, obviously. They're the most powerful. They're a powerful couple. And I was like, he was like, Jess is a wild card, but we can keep her as a member. She's not a good competitor. Cut her. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm cool with that. Rocky hits me up then. And it's like, hey, I told him, I was like, hey, Austin and JG, they seem like a pretty good target. We get Austin to use one of his powers, and we just split them up. So Rocky comes up with this entire plan to get out Jess this morning. So as of yesterday, it was Austin and JG. This morning, Rocky comes and says, hey, we should get out Jess. And he makes a pretty valid point as to why. And it's extremely hard not to take him up on that because I'm not a huge fan of Jess. I think she's a wild card, even though I don't view her as a huge threat. I just think that she's wild to me. She broke up. She obviously exposed me and Logan. That still lingers. So Rocky comes up with this plan. He puts me, him, and Adam and Ben in a group chat. He says, hey, this is the move. Let's pretend like we're going to gun for Austin, but we're actually going to vote out Jess. Eddie, Jess, and Emily are clearly working together. Eddie is clearly hiding behind Jess and Emily. That's a final three. Why break up a duo when we can break up a trio? And then obviously Eddie's still going to gun for, hopefully, Austin and JG. JG and Austin are going to be grateful that we saved them, and they're going to gun for Eddie and let them attack each other and that's the ideal plan. Is that going to work out as well as I think it is? Probably not, because I never know what's going on, and I'm always on the wrong side of things. But now I'm in a little bit of a better position than what I was. I'm safe. And either way, I think getting out Jess is a smarter move for my game personally. Obviously me and Austin don't see eye to eye on things, but maybe this will show him like, hey, I'm not targeting you. I saved you. Take out Eddie and Emily before you come for me. So that's where I'm at right now with everything. That might all change. I don't know, but I'm feeling very confident, and I'm feeling in a very good spot right now with Devin and Ben. So, and Rocky too. So, yeah.
So obviously you're safe going into the next round. You said that, safe this round going to next round, obviously. So do you think with the little quote-unquote twist of everyone going to elimination tonight, do you think that this changed up how people were thinking and how the vote was going to go?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that throwing in 3 extra votes is a game changer. I think that it honestly probably would have put me in less of a sticky situation because now I have to throw out a vote. But yeah, I think that changes a lot of things, and I think that it makes things a little bit more complicated, and I think it's going to draw some lines in the sand because there are groups working together, and I just hopefully my group isn't in the middle of that. I want because it's obviously Austin JG versus Emily, Eddie, and Jess. So maybe my thinking is why don't we even that out more? But now I get a say, so that's cool, even though I'm safe. But yeah, this changes a lot, actually. So yeah, I think that
So, I can't speak to that. You mentioned that best case scenario would be just going and then Austin and JG targeting Eddie and Eddie targeting Austin and JG, and you just kind of ride out in the middle for a while.
yeah.
One, what's worst case scenario? And two, if worst case scenario happens, how are you going to work around it?
So I'm always planning for worst case scenario. That's kind of how I'm still in here, I think. Worst case scenario is that either Devin goes home somehow. I don't think that's going to happen. If for some reason Eddie, Emily, and Jess teamed up with Austin and JG, and they created a 5 and just was like, hey, let's all work together. Nobody would expect it. Everybody thinks we're gunning for each other, which could be a possibility.
Hold on. Back up for a second. You said if Devin goes home, Devin's safe this round.
Devin's safe. No, Devin's safe. That's what. Or Ben were to go home. That's what I meant to say. But I don't think he's in the talks. I haven't heard anything. But I think the worst case scenario is if Eddie, Jess, and Emily teamed up with Austin and JG. I don't know if that would happen. I don't know where they obviously are clearly beefing right now, but if for some reason they were like, hey, we're obviously not fans of each other, nobody would expect us to work together, we can take out the rest, go to a final 5. That would probably be the worst case scenario. How I would deal with that? Win. That's the best I can do is just try to win, try to recruit more people, because I know Devin and Ben are good with me. Adam, I wild card, don't really know. Rocky's apparently good with me. So I guess that would be the worst case scenario, and my best way to do that is to win and just push the target onto them. Because it's clear that Austin and JG are the clear power couple, and trying to continue to say that is like, hey, these are bigger targets, go after them. But as of right now, that would be the worst case scenario if they teamed up and were like, hey, let's work together now, and just completely flipped. So that would be the worst case scenario, I think.
So you mentioned a possibility of Eddie, Jess, Emily, Austin, and JG could possibly form together, and that would be your worst case scenario, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So let's say theoretically that happened, and then that would leave you, Devin, Ben, and Adam, and Rocky. So it would be technically 5v5. So if your worst case scenario happened, and all those other people voted together and it tied, do you think that everyone would stay solid and let it go to rocks? Or do you think that someone would flip? And if you think someone would flip, whose quote unquote side would it be from?
I think it's just tough to gauge just because you don't really know everybody and you don't really know what they're thinking. And I think if somebody were to flip, I think it'd be Adam. I think Adam would flip. Just because I don't really know Adam that well. I'd be shocked if Devin and Ben flipped, because that would put me in a really shitty position then. Um, I think Adam, just because I don't know Adam too well. But if it was from their side, I don't know who would flip then. I pray that like everybody would stay strong and let it go to rocks. But that's the thing about this game is you never know who's talking to anybody. You can't. It's hard to gauge who's with who. But I would say Adam would flip, and I think that would not be good. So I think that answers it.
Yep. And then your final question. Going into Final 9, because obviously, like I said, you're there because you're safe this round. What's your strategy? If there's still an Emperor challenge, are you gonna win it? Like if there's like individual immunity, are you gonna win it? Like, what's going on?
I am gunning for Emperor immunity, and I've said this previously, just because you never know what's going to happen in this game, and I can only count on myself at the end of the day. As much as trust that I put in Devin and Ben, people are constantly talking, and people are constantly like making things up and being like, "Oh, he's a threat," blah blah blah. My fate is in my hands, and the only way I can assure my safety is winning. So I'm going to gun for every competition. I'm going to start building my resume. Final 8, Final 7, it's just winning. That is extremely important to me. And if you win challenges like that, you will win the game. And because going into this, I was like, oh well, maybe I won't win. Maybe I'll throw some things just because at this point it's like no, I have to win and put myself in the best position as possible, and that's just winning. So I'm going to be competing in every immunity competition, every single Emperor competition that I can. So, yeah.
All right. Do you have anything to wrap up your confessional with?
I want to win. Let's go. That's it. That's all I got.
Sick. I will stop the recording.
All right.